back to the Mookie Chilson channel, and you are looking live at another cue card. This is an outline, a rundown of what we're going to talk about in the order in which we're going to talk about it. And this is all about a voyage to Pennsylvania. The Philadelphia show, ! Highlight it in old school Phillies magenta. And it all begins with the crew that was assembled to roll out on the turnpike. Sammy Thunder rolled. My buddy Pete drove graciously, and so we'll talk about that. We'll talk about my first impressions of the Philadelphia show, which I have never been to, and I've heard was a big, bad vintage show. And then we'll talk about what happened at the Philly show, what I'm creatively calling the Philly Phail, which was a shocking disappointment, and you know it's shocking because it's highlighted in yellow. But like every good story, and hopefully this is a good story, you be the judge, there is sweet, sweet redemption at the end, and I hope you will stick around for that. But let's begin at 8 a.m. Saturday morning. That's the scene. I drive to Pete's house. Sammy Thunder drives to Pete's house, and Pete is a cranky morning person who all he wanted to do was show us his card room and his display. And that he did. Now, Pete is a big boy collector, if you've watched the channel before, and I will show you the display that he wanted us to see. And it didn't disappoint. You got the Jackie rookies on the top right, which are, again, flame-throwing cards. You got the Nolan Ryan second year, the Larry Doby rookie card, and right in the middle of it all, there's your Mookie Wilson 1981 Topps rookie card that I had bought from Sammy in Garfield the week before and gave to Pete, and now Pete is proudly displaying it between the icons of the sport. And I really appreciate Pete's display. I think Sammy got a kick out of it. Anyway, I think Pete has quite a card display, and I think you should agree. Anyway, when I think about Philadelphia, I had no idea where the show was. And so I've been there a million times. And anytime I think about Philadelphia, I think about it through the lens of the Rocky movies. Where are we going? Is it by the steps that Rocky climbed where the statue is? Is it by the Spectrum where Rocky fought Apollo Creed? Is it by the alley where Mick taught Rock to eat lightning and crap thunder? And it turns out it's none of those. It's kind of in the suburbs. It's kind of out where Rocky moved with Adrian and had a robot butler give Paulie his birthday cake, which was fascinating and pleasant. It was nice out there. I enjoyed it. And so we got to the Philadelphia show, and if you've not seen Sammy's video, you should go watch it. Let me just say, it was such a joy and a pleasure to drive down with Pete and Sammy. Sammy helped keep my mind off of the 95 miles an hour Pete was doing on I-95. But we had a great conversation about what Sammy does and YouTube and all the just super fun talks all the way down there. And then when we got there, I had to remind Sammy not to bring his chest mount into the bathroom. But once he did, we walked out into the show and saw just, cards wherever you looked. And it was just a huge warehouse. And if you can see my cursor, I don't know if you can see my cursor. Back here is where B. Roth was. We met Dan's vintage baseball PC over here. It was great seeing both those guys. And again, there were cards galore. Anything you could want. There was 52 mantles. There was a Tom Seaver rookie in a SGC 10, which was just something I was drooling over. And again, it was a very Philly show. I will say that even though the aisles were packed, all of the shoving was brotherly. The Philadelphia cheerleaders announcement, there kept being an announcement for urging people to take pictures with the Philadelphia Eagle cheerleaders that were there. And when you looked in the booths, it was so Philadelphia, so all over the place, including this card that I picked out. Could you get any more Philly than this? A 1986 O-Pee-Chee, Kent Tekulve autograph. I loved it. And I left it there for the next guy because I know somebody's going to go pick that up. Anyway, tons of amazing cards, tons of awesome stuff. And for me, my big goal was to do an autograph submission. I had bought this guy that I have shown off on this channel before, a Roy Campanella exhibit card that is signed above his fake name down there. So I brought it over to JSA along with a Casey Stengel autograph card that I wanted to get authenticated. And as you can see it there, I've previously gotten some thoughts from you guys on it. And so I dropped it off there and went over to see B. Roth. I told him what I was up to, and he wished me luck. And so then we went out and going and vintage hunting some more with Sammy. Again, it was great hunting with Sammy, looking for cards. Sammy is like a freaking celebrity. Everybody recognized him, which was really cool. But eventually we came back to the JSA table a few hours later, and the guy who I dropped the cards off with let me know that I had gone 0 for 2. This is not an authentic Roy Campanella signature, as my friends at JSA let me know. And every time I do this, I always wonder, are they just gonna, how good are they? They pick up fakes. And apparently they picked up the fake on this card, and they picked up the fake on my Casey Stengel autograph, which again, I had bought probably each of those cards for $30. The Casey Stengel is already being returned. This card is going to get sent away. I'm going to get my money back. The dealers that sold them are being cool about it. And so I'm out the money. I'm out the JSA money, which was a bummer. But I knew they were a coin flip either way. It's funny because after I got the 0 for 2 read, Sammy was like, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But the show went on. Sammy went hunting by himself. Pete went to go get on the food line. And I knew I needed redemption, sweet redemption. And I had a SGC submission that I wanted to do. Let me see here. I showed that. And so I knew that since I had a fake Roy Campanella autograph, I needed a real Roy Campanella card. And so I picked up 2 Roy Campanellas out there on the show floor. This 54 Bowman, which is really nicely centered, and it's got some corner damage and not totally amazing. But I just, that picture of Roy Campanella has always struck me as one that is really unique. It looks like he's staring right through you. He's not smiling. He's not like grimacing, but it's like I love that face. I love the clouds behind him. It's really well framed, just a beautiful picture. And frankly, that face was probably about how I looked when JSA told me that the autograph was fake. So I picked that up, and I also picked up this 1952 Wheaties card. And again, this Wheaties card just really spoke to me for a couple of reasons. Number one, my old buddy Scott Reindeer Studios just painted this Roy Campanella piece of artwork that I just loved watching him do. And this is the same image from that. And he also sent out in his Christmas card this year a Wheaties style reindeer Christmas card. And so this sort of like, I was like, oh, this sort of makes me feel good, makes me feel better. And so I got those 2 cards and put them together with a few other cards that I had brought down for an SGC submission. I got the Mean Joe Green rookie card, which is sort of off-center top to bottom. This is actually Pete's card that I suggested he should submit. You got your Roy Campanellas. You got your Gil Hodges 68 tops, which is really nice and crispy, and hopefully will wind up in the 8 range. And then I have my Gil Hodges rookie that I showed off last week, which I'm really excited about. And then I have a Don Newcomb rookie card, which I think I have shown on this channel before, which was really a beautiful card, and hopefully we'll do okay. But it's a PC card anyway. Anyway, so that is the sweet redemption for the Roy Campanella JSA Phail, Philly Phail that I had there at the Philly show. But again, the show was still amazing, and when I met back up with Sammy, there was further redemption. Sammy felt awful for my Philly Phail, and while he was away, while we were split up, he found this beautiful Cleon Jones transogram card that he picked up and handed to me as a consolation prize, which is a really nifty consolation prize. I freaking love this card. It's totally beautiful. And so Sammy and Pete and I got back in the car and left Rocky's robot butler behind, and had a great trip home. Again, the car ride home was as fun as the car ride there. It was raining and crappy out, but we still had a blast talking about all kinds of stuff. And Sammy does an incredible impersonation of all manner of vintage baseball card YouTubers that you'll have to ask him about next time you see him. So that is it. That is it for the Philly show. That is the sweet redemption. Thank you to Pete for driving. Thank you to Sammy Thunder for such an awesome time and this beautiful gift. And thank you to all of you for watching this. That is it. I am done. The end. Thank you.